the sunset walk, yeah. I guess that was the first time we managed to sort of meet everyone, because we just actually arrived at Lofoten Islands, and after many delays in our travelling and having to catch 40 winks at the airport well, I say 40 winks, it was like 8 hours we had to wait in Oslo airport for our connecting flight, and everyone was just shattered and sort of jet lagged, I guess. Everyone had finally got a good night's sleep on the boat, and we'd arrived at Lofoten Islands, and we went out just to check out our first taste of the scenery, and walking up the hill to the lake was just amazing, because you crested the hill and there's just expanses of clear blue lake that you could just swim in. It just felt so good to dip your feet into that. And everyone was really happy at that time, because we had finally got there, and you could look back out behind us and see our boat was there. The scenery was really good visibility, really good weather. You could see other Norwegians going about their Norwegian lives, and you just thought, yeah, it's going to be a good trip.
So the bike ride we went on was really good fun. I quite like cycling anyway at home. It's really good to sort of get off the boat, do something that's quite natural to me. Lovely scenery going around Rennes in the Lofotens. Cycled up and down the coast, went to some nice places, found some really nice sort of spots like the lake and the river by the side of the sea, and the little village we visited was really nice with the sort of special bakery where they made those buns for us, which were really good. Feels pretty good to just get off the boat, stretch your legs, do something a bit different for once.
The most rewarding is definitely, for me, has been like in the evenings when everything gets really calm, and obviously we were sailing in like some of the most beautiful parts of the world, and the sunsets were so stunning. Especially like if you were keeping watch up at the pig pen at the top of the boat, you could just sit and chat to people and watch the sunset go down, and it was like really nice. Probably one of the best things I've ever done, to sit and like watch the sunset behind the sailing boat.
After a bit more sailing, we arrived at the glacier, which was amazing. It was such a surprise, because in the guidebook, the photo of the glacier had it running all the way down to the sea, and a huge expanse of ice. And then we get there, and it's just been receding up the hill every single year. I mean, it's just, the global warming's really had such a huge effect, and it's quite eye-opening to see it in person.
The top moment of this voyage for me was probably going to the glacier. It'd been such a long walk to get there, and then once we got there, it was absolutely amazing. It was such a nice cool breeze coming off it.
Toughest aspects of the voyage, it must have been crossing the North Sea, because it requires you to have a lot of self-discipline, and you need your endurance, you need the will to actually get up at say 3 o'clock in the morning to actually go for a three-hour shift in huge waves, and you're feeling sick, you're cold, you're tired, and you need to push yourself to the limit. I think that was quite a tough thing. Also coping with people who are different from you, and maybe sometimes you have to be more tolerant. You have to look at certain things from a different angle, a different perspective. I found that quite tough as well. My patience has definitely increased throughout this voyage. Tolerance as well, because obviously I've had to deal with different situations. People have different habits, and when you live on such a small confined space for 2 weeks, you do get in each other's way, and you do have to learn how to cope with that, and I think I did pretty well.
Because I mean, on the boat, everybody like gets to that point where they nearly break, especially a journey like this. Being able to be there for somebody when they're feeling down in the dumps, that's a skill that I've definitely learned, is how to improve my motivation.
I think I've gained a lot of confidence, because it's not easy to sail a 70-foot yacht, and it's not easy to kind of keep on top of everything, so you've got to have the confidence to just know that you're doing the right thing when you're sailing the boat, and especially when we get the opportunity to watch lead, you're responsible for your watch, so you've got to have the confidence to hold that responsibility and make the right decisions.
Certainly experience-wise, I feel every time you travel and you see something new, it puts the world into a bit more perspective and it broadens your horizons. I've certainly eaten food this week that I wouldn't normally do, so even on that front, I've improved my taste. I've experienced sights and things that generally makes you appreciate life more, because we've gone to these amazing places and I've seen them, and I'm always going to remember what I've done.
So I've really enjoyed the YLDP sort of course. It's really good, it sort of develops you as a person and as a leader. For me personally, I didn't really have any leadership experience before this, so the YLDP's helped me to become a leader of some sort and give me some sort of qualification to help me with leading in the future when I get a job or something like that. So it's really helpful, it's a really good thing to do.
The RYE qualifications I think are going to help me a lot, because in school you get a certain kind of qualification, you get academic qualifications, but I don't necessarily want to go into academic subjects, so it's basically opened up a lot of doors.
We've done a RYE watch leader qualification. That's an actual something I can take away from this and say to people, look, I'm competent, I can lead a watch on a boat. We've done a basic navigation course from this and a first aid course which is valued everywhere. So you've got practical qualifications as well as life experiences that really just alter your perception of life.
By completing the various qualifications on offer during the voyage, we're very much hoping that the young people will grow in confidence, improve their employability and their prospects for the future. I think the point in the voyage where I noticed the biggest change in people, it was roughly halfway through the voyage. We were sailing down the Norwegian coast and it was a beautiful evening. The sun was slowly setting and we ended up having to do a huge amount of sail changes in just 3 or 4 hours. And every single sail change that went on, there was a young person in charge of that process, all taking in turns to be in charge of putting the various sails up and down. But the sea staff very much started to take a backseat role at that point, and it was just great sitting at the back of the boat watching all this happen with the young people in charge of the whole thing. Well, this year I was keen to get more directly involved in the programme and actually get out on the boat with the young leaders. So I went on and sailed as skipper, and it gave me the opportunity to introduce some new initiatives to the programme, mainly the new SQA award in leadership.
We got loads of opportunities, and to experience that at our age and being really young, it's amazing, and I feel really honoured. I still can't quite believe some of the things we've seen, because the scenery was something else and the sunsets were amazing, and we had a brilliant crew in my opinion, and it was amazing.
At home, I mean, I'm kind of really laid back and my parents don't really push me, but on the boat it's a 24-hour job. Nobody can really get the chance to slack and lie about. There's always a job to be done.
There's no privacy in sailing life. You've got to be able to work with other people the whole time. There's nowhere on the boat you can hide, even in the toilet. People are always there. But most rewarding aspects totally make up for it. Sailing down that fjord in roasting hot weather with just amazing scenery around you, or when the boat's all the way over and you're on deck and you're helming, you're just going over these huge waves. It's just such a high.
Now, the sailing life is very different to life at home. Everything you do affects somebody in some way because you're living in such a cramped, tight space.
I think for me, the definite high point of the voyage was seeing all the young people start to take control of the boat and themselves and take on leadership roles. It's a real highlight just to be able to step back and watch these amazing young people really come together as a team, start working and take charge.
We went to the Svartesand glacier, which was amazing. There's blue ice coming down the mountain and a huge lake. It was really cool, especially in the setting it was amongst the fjords and the mountains and stuff.
I'd say the highlight of the trip was obviously the Norwegian coast, which is amazing, but if I had to pinpoint one place, just when we first arrived at the Lofoten Islands, and the time there was just amazing. The views, the sunsets, the first surprise that it was really warm in Norway, and I thought, oh, this trip's going to be really good now. And the stuff you see, I mean, for instance on the first day, the locals, we coming past in an old boat, looked like a sort of Viking ship, so we greeted them with a Mexican wave, and their return was just to strip down to nothing and jump in the water into the freezing sea, which had us all in fits. It was pretty funny. and it was our first taste of Norway, which made it even better.
The Young Leaders Development Programme is really the pinnacle of Ocean Youth Trust Scotland's opportunities for personal development. It's a unique programme that offers young people a genuine opportunity to take on real leadership roles in quite a challenging environment. I'd highly recommend this programme to any young people that want to build their leadership skills through adventure under sail.
The places that we've been to, like knowing that we've actually sailed the boat to these places and then seeing these magnificent, beautiful like glaciers and fjords, and knowing that we've made the journey to these places, it's rewarding in itself.